Hi, how are you? Today we are going to discuss that what are the treatment methods available for the asthma. Here we have several treatment methods and several medications which can be used for the treatment of asthma. These are some medicines which are commonly available in the market and can be easily purchased. Uh, For example, here we have long-acting beta agonists, then we have oral and intravenous corticosteroids, then we have short-acting beta agonists, then biologics, then leukotriene modifiers, combination inhaler, inhaled corticosteroid, and anticholinergics and theophylline. These are some medications which can be easily used in the treatment of asthma. Here we are gonna discuss all these medications in detail one by one. First of all, we are gonna study that what are the methods to use the long-acting beta agonists. The beta agonists can be easily used when uh, long-acting beta agonists can easily used as a bronchodilator. As a bronchodilator, it opens the bronchi, the bronchioles, or you can say that airways. By opening the airways, it allows the patient to breathe more comfortably, more properly. There would be proper ventilation. So, such long-acting beta agonists are very common in use in nowadays. These beta agonists are easily available in the market and can be used as a treatment of the asthma. Then we have oral and intravenous corticosteroids. Now, what is the oral and intravenous corticosteroids are? The oral and uh, the oral and intravenous corticosteroids include many types of medications. These medications uh, are basically from the class of corticosteroids. These corticosteroids are highly used as bronchodilators, and as a bronchodilators, it helps the patient to breathe more normally and more properly. They can also reduce the uh, what you can say that they can also reduce the inflammation in the airways, and by reducing the inflammation they further help the patient to breathe normally and easily. So that was the corticosteroids class, which may be oral or may be intravenous, which means that depending upon the condition of the patient, these corticosteroids may be given orally by mouth or through the intravenous route. Those patients who are not capable of taking corticosteroids orally can be given these corticosteroids intravenously so that they can bypass the oral route and directly get into the blood. While the other patients which can use the oral medications should be administered the oral corticosteroids as a means of treatment. Then we have short-acting beta agonists. These are also beta agonists. The only difference between these and the other beta agonists is that uh, those were the long-acting beta agonists, which means that they act for a long period of time. And these are the short-acting beta agonists, which means that they act for for a short period of time. So the main difference between both of them is uh, their duration of action. The short acting beta agonists work for very short period of time. Therefore, it's also called as the short-acting beta agonist. However, the mechanism is the same. These are also the bronchodilators, which are used to relieve the patient from the bronchoconstriction by causing bronchodilation. They help the patient to breathe more comfortably. They also used to reduce the inflammation. Both these factors contribute towards more proper and normal ventilation, which eventually decreases the effects of asthmatic condition. So at the third number we have biologics. Now, what is the biologics? Biologics are termed is a term. Basically, it is a term which is given to those medicines which are biologically active. Now, what does mean that these are biologically active and the others are not called as biologics? These are only called as biologics. The reason behind this is that there are many natural medicines which are used to relieve asthma or asthmatic condition. These natural medicines are called as biologics. Now, uh, one more point you should know about the biologics is that biologics are different from those of the medicines which we have studied earlier. Like uh, it is different. It is different from the short-acting and long-acting beta agonists, as well as it may uh, all it can also be different from that of the what we have studied earlier is that a long-acting beta agonist, short-acting beta agonist, and then there is a oral and intravenous corticosteroids. Biologics are clearly different from the above three categories. Then we have leukotriene modifiers. Now, what is the leukotriene modifiers? You need to know that the leukotriene modifiers are those chemicals which are used against inflammation. They are used to counter the effects of the inflammation. They reduce the inflammation at a very high degree, and uh, they produce some sort of relief for the asthmatic patient. These leukotrienes prevent the release of those chemicals uh, which are responsible for the inflammation. Like leukotrienes are responsible for causing the inflammation in the human body. These leukotriene modifiers block these chemicals from release into the bloodstream and causing an inflammation in the lungs and at the site of damage and infection. So by reducing the inflammation and by reducing the leukotrienes, the patient gets relief from the pain and uncomfortability due to which have been produced due to the inflammation, and the patient may be able to breathe more normally. Then at the next category we have combination. The next category we have here is the combination inhaler. Now, what is the combination inhaler? Uh, Combination inhaler is are those medicines which are used to be inhaled as a what you can say them that as a source to get relief, to get quick relief. Though these are those medicines which are used in combination and then they are inhaled together. That's why these are called as combination inhalers. In the combination inhalers, two or more medicines which can be used as the bronchodilators. They are mixed together and they are used at the same time for the same purpose, by which we can uh, relieve the patient from the pain and uncomfortability and the difficult breathing. So these are called as combination inhalers. Then there are some other types of medicines which can also be used as bronchodilator or to relieve the pain. These are called as inhaled corticosteroids. Then there is anticholinergics and theophylline. First of all, we are gonna see that what is the inhaled corticosteroids. What are the inhaled corticosteroids? There are these are also the corticosteroids. The only difference is that we take these corticosteroids by inhalation, like we take these corticosteroids directly into our lungs with the breath. When we breathe in, we also pump these corticosteroids into our airways, which eventually leads it to the alveoli and sacs and airways. And these corticosteroids there act as anti-inflammatory agents to counter the side effects of inflammation. These reduce the inflammation at a very high degree, and they also open the airways by causing the bronchodilation. Both of these factors are important in relieving the pain and the difficulty linked to the asthmatic condition. The asthmatic patient feels very comfortable with these effects, and then he goes through a proper medication therapy. Then we have anticholinergics. Anticholinergics are also those chemical agents which are which are used to open the airways. They are used to dilate the airways. So these are also called as bronchodilators. They open the airways by producing their effects, and the patient feels comfortable while breathing. There are several examples which can be concluded in the anticholinergics. These anticholinergics are easily available in the market. They are commonly available and may come at a very fair prices, so you can afford them as well as use them without compromising on the efficacy of the drugs. Then we have here uh, our next drug, which is the theophylline. Now, what is the theophylline? We are gonna discuss the theophylline in detail here. Theophylline is also a bronchodilator medicine which is used to counter the effects of asthma. It is used in the asthmatic patient to get rid of the difficult breathing and those of the severe symptoms which are attached to the asthma. All these things make the use of theophylline very attractive, and doctors very commonly recommend this medicine to their patients. Theophylline is a very commonly available medicine and you can afford it at a very fair price. Some of the medicines which I have not mentioned here, but I would like to add that there are some other types of medicines like some sort of immunomodulators. These immunomodulators actually work with our immune system and they suppress our immune system. By suppressing our immune system, they suppress those chemicals like leukotrienes and other chemicals which are responsible for producing inflammation as a response to the infection or damage at any site. So when uh, this the response of immune system is suppressed, there would be no further increase in the chemicals which are responsible for producing inflammation. And when there is no inflammation, the airways get open and a patient feels more comfortable to breathe in that condition. So all these medicines in this way somehow uh, play their role in relieving the uncomfortability and uh, pain and difficult breathing which is linked towards the asthma. I hope so you would have liked my video and you would probably uh, get benefit from all these information that I have told you today. These are the several medicines which are used in the treatment and management of asthma. You can choose any of these medicines depending upon your condition and your medical history. All of the medicines could not be used spontaneously, and all of the medicines are not suitable for any patient. These all medicines uh, uh, made, or these all medicines are produced depending upon the different conditions and complications of the individual patient. So all these medicines should be used with precaution and with the advice of your doctor. One should not use these medications uh, uh, upon self decision, but it should be decided on the recommendations from a certified doctor. Thank you. I hope so you would have liked my video. Please like, share and comment my video. Also subscribe my channel. It would be a great favor from you. Thank you.